Welcome to NDIS Business Advisory Series. I'm Dev, and we have
Rob.
Hi, Rob. Thanks for joining us. And we are trying to talk a bit more on the workforce, which is the biggest challenge within the disability, aged care, and mental health sectors. And primarily focusing on disability, the workforce is a lot casualized, and we are discussing today on casualization of the workforce. And what are your views on those things?
I think it's a really relevant topic, and it's one that any business organisation that's operating in the NDIS is having to confront at the moment. And I think it's interesting how it's changed over the years. There was a time when we were looking at and really promoting the permanent workforce, and then we got to the pandemic and things started to change, and now we've got to move back to the casualisation. And associated with that, there are all sorts of challenges that organisations will need to address.
Yeah, and as we casualize the workforce, the first impact is because the frontline do not see longevity with the organisation, hence the goal alignment with the organisation is mismanaged, and hence the delivery of service or delivery of care will be impacted because the workforce is casualized to start with.
I think what can happen is that the connection with the organisation, therefore the connection with the clients, the participants, can actually be affected. If you're a casualised person, your relationship with the organisation is by its very nature casual. So you can at any time, with I think it's about an hour's notice, you can say, I no longer wish to work here. Associated with that is a whole range of issues then with recruitment, replacements. The participant is having to get to know a new person who's going to be working alongside them.
Yeah.
As well as the new employee, they also have to go through that process.
And that a short-term employment, and if the support worker or the frontline care worker is working across multiple organizations, the handovering and understanding of the process intricacies between multiple organizations and what's compliant and what's not compliant in terms of delivery of care, that changes. And in terms of the expectations from the frontline worker in different organizations is very different, and the cultural expectation, then hence that leads to different level of service delivery.
You're absolutely right, Dev. Another challenge with that also is because people are working with potentially multiple organisations, the availability of that employee can become an issue because they're working shifts for another organisation. So the next thing you know, you've got lack of availability. So you're just adding to the worker challenges of trying to fill the shifts.
And further talking on that part of it, when you have the impermanency of, is that right word? I don't know, but the impermanency of the support staff, that could lead to a lot of anxiety within the participant life and the family and the carers, and that would impact the outcomes we want to achieve long term, and that will lead to whether the goals are being achieved, because it's very not permanent.
One of the complaints that you can hear from time to time is when you are changing the support workers, when the person is having to relearn, re-engage, get that relationship back again, and the understanding about the client, their communication needs, their personal needs, how they would like you to work alongside them. They've got to go through all of that again and again. So if you've got a more permanent workforce, then it's not to say that that's not going to happen, but it's going to hopefully reduce that opportunity for people to be coming and going.
And that challenge further leads to, because you don't as an employer, you are retraining and training. A lot of financial dollars being, going down from a point of view of that, we have to train the workforce, but that workforce is a transient workforce, and that's another, taxpayers funding, taxpayers money going from a point of view, being training a workforce which might not stick around for long.
Absolutely, and that has both a financial cost to the organisation, but there's also a cost to the people who work in the organisation. Mm-hmm. Relationships come to an end. You have to build new relationships, so that the cost, both financially and socially, I think can be huge.